So what's going on, guys? I'm here at the shop today. I actually wasn't planning on recording today, but I'm pretty bored. I'm actually off for this whole week, so I figured I'd work on the car a little bit. I'm not really doing much today. There's a hole in our decking right now that I had to cut so we had access to our ignition wires, and I've been meaning to cover it back up, and I just haven't done it. I have all the materials, I just haven't done it. So I'm gonna. I think I just spit. Yummy. Um, so I've been kind of putting it off because it's a real minute thing, but I'm going to finish it today, so that way it's completely checked off our checklist, our final checklist for the season. I talked to S&S Custom Decals this morning. I called them just to kind of make sure that everything I had sent them, measurement wise and logo wise, it was everything they needed. And they said, yeah. And hopefully, I'm going to be seeing some proofs or some pictures of what the wrap will look like here, maybe the end of the week, maybe next week. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty excited about that. And once we select the art on the car, then we can go take it to get wrapped. So I'm really excited about that. So definitely be looking forward to that in the future. Today, like I said, I'm going to be working on the sheet metal. I also have to make a schedule for our sponsor, make like a not really an itinerary, but places we're racing in the next couple of weeks, or well, in these upcoming season. The schedule's only released from the tracks to like August, I think, but we have all the days picked out, where we're going to run, where we're going to be at. All the practice sessions and whatnot. So you'll see some of that later in the video. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. In case you haven't noticed, this is the hole right here that I'm going to put a panel over. I was going to put an actual, like an access panel with a twist lock and everything on it, but just where it's located, it's going to be kind of awkward. As you can, I don't know if you can see, but right here's the brake in the sheet metal, and up there it's a real narrow portion, so I'm just going to put a piece of sheet metal over it and rivet it about right here and right here. That's the game plan, at least. So yeah, we'll give it a shot. So if you can't tell, this is actually a used piece of sheet metal. I got it from a friend of mine's house, a shop, and I'm going to use this. It's supposed to be the same color as what's on the decking in the car. I guess we'll find out once I clean it up. And not too bad. It looks pretty close, so yeah, I guess we'll work with it. I'm going to rinse it off, and then I'm actually going to scrub it to try to get rid of some of those dirt marks. Obviously, this came off of their car, their old sheet metal, so I definitely need to clean it up before I put it on top of the new sheet metal. Okay, so I've got the sheet metal cleaned up, just in the area of what I'm going to use. Like I said, there's no point in me cleaning this whole thing. As you can see, it's still pretty dirty. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use just a section from in here, and best way I've found to make like templates and whatnot is use a piece of cardboard. As you can see right here, I've kind of marked the edges of where I need to draw lines and make the shape, and then what I'll do is I'll trace the pattern from here onto the sheet metal, and hopefully that'll be good enough. Like I said, it's not a real critical part, but if you were doing something like body templates, you definitely need to be spot on with your marking and measuring. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to use this straight edge, and I'm going to draw out a square on here, cut it, and then trace that onto the sheet metal, and then we'll get to cutting. Alright, so I have got the cardboard cut. I did measure it from here and here to here and here, just to see how close I got to being square, and it's spot on. So this will definitely work very well. I'm going to go ahead and get this traced out on the sheet metal, and then we're going to start cutting. Another thing I almost forgot to mention, when I cut out sheet metal and whatnot, I always recommend get you a grease pen. It makes seeing this stuff a lot easier, especially on like colored sheet metal. This sheet metal is black on black, so that means the underside is black as well. It's not like a black on white. Like my car, if you can look, is actually blue on white, and you can't really tell until you look at the inside of the sail panel, which is white. That's just something I didn't think of when I had my buddy build it, but oh well. So yeah, like I said, we're going to get this traced out, cut out. I did make it a little longer, so that way the rivets have a good amount of surface to bite down on. I think the only black ones I have left are large heads, so that's why I gave it that extra room. Normally I would use small heads, but I just don't feel like running all the way to my local race shop just to pick up small head rivets. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to cutting. So just another bit of information, I do like to use a side that's already like cut. It's just less cutting because I'm kind of lazy. So we'll trace cardboard, and it's okay if this is a little large, I can always trim it down. I know that might be hard to see on the camera, but I can definitely see where the grease markers mark. Another thing, if you do kind of your own sheet metal work, I definitely recommend a sheet metal shear. This is a pneumatic shear. I also have a pair of scissors that I use. But basically, I'm not sure what the actual cost of this ended up being, because actually I got this one on clearance and I only paid like $35 for it, and it's an Ingersoll brand, or Ingersoll Rand, excuse me. And it works really good. Line up the teeth. So I'll just like going in short bursts. It just kind of keeps it controlled, makes it a little bit easier to manage, because if this gets away from you, it'll just take off. So we'll get lined back up with teeth again. Edges cut. Now we just gotta cut the piece the rest of the way out. There is one cover-up panel for our decking. Okay, so I've got my piece cut out here. It's not exactly the straightest, but like I said, for what we're using, I'm not too worried about it. If I had one, I'd use a sheet metal brake, but those shears that I have, they work just as good, just for cutting stuff out and whatnot. But I definitely recommend you get a pneumatic cutter. Sheet metal cutter. I'm not sure what it'll cut up to as far as gauge, but I know for the aluminum for our race cars, it works very well. So the next step, what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go grind off these sharp edges, because I have been caught by these edges before and shed blood, and I really don't want to do that again. So I'm going to round those edges off, and we'll get it put on the car. Okay, so I know the camera angle is really weird right now, but it's about the only place that it's going to fit in here without me blocking the camera. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this patch, put it right here, drill some holes for the rivets, and then just rivet it down. I may put decals on in the future, just so everybody knows that this is electrical stuff. Go ahead and put a rivet in, just to kind of hold it in place and make life a little bit easier. Got my rivet down in there. far, so good. I may come back and put another one in here because that's kind of got a little bit of a gap in it. I don't know. We'll see how this one does. Trying to get some of the aluminum out from under this so it doesn't hold it open. Try to get as flat as I can on this sheet. And if you can't tell, this is a very awkward angle for me. I'm basically leaning in from the outside of the car and getting a leg cramp in the process. But we'll keep on going. We about didn't get that one. So, and I don't have any spare batteries that are on the charger. So I'll be sure to put this battery on the charger. We got kind of lucky there. Pop that on. And there we go. One access panel. Now I know in order for us to access some of the electrical components in this car, I'll have to take this off, but I'm okay with drilling out 4 rivets because we shouldn't have to get to it, but if we do, you know, it's not going to be that difficult. We always take a drill with us to the track, so if we have to fix it there, we can. So yeah, like I said, I might put stickers on here that just says caution electrical, just so people know when they go drilling out these rivets that, you know, what they're opening up. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it for the day, at least down here in the shop. Like I said, I really wasn't planning on recording, but I need to get this done because it's been on my checklist for God knows how long. And I know this is not the best way to do this, but I really didn't feel like, you know, cutting out a whole panel, installing a panel. This will work just as good. I know it doesn't look the greatest, but it'll all be covered in dirt here in the next month or so. So yeah, that'll do it for today down here in the shop, and I'll see you guys back at my house, actually. I meant to mention this in the gear building video that we did the other day. If you still have trouble like building a rear end gear, there is a book out. It's on 4 differentials. It's on the 8.8 and the 9-inch. This is what we use to get all of our torque for the bolts, what, you know, the torque needs to be on it. Just kind of some basic how-tos and whatnot. I definitely recommend you check it out. This is the SA Design Workbench series. It's got like a bunch of pictures in it. It even has a build sheet so you can keep track of your parts and whatnot, kind of the tolerances you want. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, if you really need that extra knowledge, you know, it doesn't hurt to have one of these laying around your shop, just so you can reference this if you ever need to. So I'm back here at the house. I just got changed. It's actually a lot warmer. It's actually only like 36 degrees, but since we've been having all this, you know, below freezing temperatures lately, it's yeah, it feels like summertime. So I'm back in shorts and a t-shirt, a lot more comfortable. Basically what I'm about to do right now is I'm about to type up all of these dates here that you see on this. This is our 2018 race schedule. The paper kind of tore. Our cat got a hold of it. But basically this is where we're going to be at every week unless something happens with the car or we just can't go race. So I'm going to type all that up. I'm going to print out several copies. One set of copies is going to be for my crew member, and the other one I'm going to email to our sponsor because they would like to be kept in the loop as far as what we're doing. So I'm going to send this off to them. And it's kind of funny because 2 years ago when we were racing, I didn't care about schedule. We just ran whenever we felt like it. But now that we're racing, you know, for a, you know, pretty much a sponsor that's helping us out big time, you know, they want to be kept in the loop. There's a lot more things that need to be done apart from just working on the car, going home, and then go race on Friday or Saturday night. So there's a lot more stuff that has to be done. So I'm going to send this schedule off to our sponsor, print off a couple copies, and then probably going to start editing this video and upload it. Hopefully it'll upload today. After that, I'm gonna clean the dishes so my wife doesn't have to, and it's always good to keep your wife happy, especially if she lets you race cars. So I'm gonna do that for her so she doesn't have to do it when she gets home. And then I'm probably gonna go take a nap because I didn't sleep good last night. So yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching the video, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye.